Welcome to Where We Do It Messy, and welcome to Meg Pearson Writes. This is a space where I hope you get to see yourself reflected in each passage, story, each failure, success, and celebration. Because let's face it, while our lives' details differ, the lessons we learn are all the same. And the thing we are all striving for is equal: to be enough as we are and live our authentic lives. I've overcome a 20-year battle with bulimia and alcohol addiction, both habits formed after years of sexual trauma. I was bankrupt at 29, fell into and escaped toxic relationship after toxic relationship. I watched my father die from ALS and frontal temporal dementia when I was 30, and I nearly died that same year from suffocation after swallowing a spatula trying to make myself throw up. After ditching my career as a successful television director around the same time to sell everything I owned and move to Costa Rica with a backpack and a dream, I became a serial entrepreneur without even knowing it. I worked full-time in the wellness industry and spiritual space for a decade, supported by juice cleanses and ayahuasca, before moving back to Canada and finding my footing here, back home in my country and in my heart. And I've seen some shit, and I know you have too. My mission with this platform and all the work I do is simple: to help others feel seen and to permission them to own their story, their mess, and to choose truth over anything else. This space is going to introduce you to my philosophy and story so that you can adopt what feels good, leave behind what doesn't, and hopefully finish each post feeling more excited to be you. My main areas of focus will be as follows: the brand that breathes. This is my core body of work consisting of a book under the same name, still coming soon, the latest iteration of my podcast, a signature web design and branding package that I offer, and my upcoming group coaching programs. Memoir in Motion is the next area that I'll be focusing, which will include stories from the front lines, aka the dumpster fire that has been my life. This will include excerpts from my upcoming memoir and reflections on recovery, grief, motherhood, entrepreneurship, sobriety, relationships, spirituality, and the beautiful chaos of being human. Then we'll talk about breathwork and becoming, practical tools and reflections on nervous system regulation, emotional healing, breathwork embodiment, and learning to trust yourself again. And it's less about fixing and more about simply remembering who you are. Lastly, we will be talking to women who went first, interviews and conversations with women who have chosen the unconventional path, entrepreneurs, creators, leaders, mothers, artists, and everyday rebels who are building lives aligned with their values instead of other people's expectations. All of this intertwined with teachings, lessons, introspections, reflections on being in this space we call the messy middle. It's for anyone who's standing at a crossroads. This is going to be my honest writing about pivots, uncertainty, identity shifts, starting over, letting go, and what happens between who you've been and who you're becoming. Now, a bit more about me. A girl called Bubbles. Growing up, I suppose you would have called me the happy kid. I grew up on a hobby farm. I rode my bike. I entered countless crafts into the fall fair exhibition. Carving soap, anyone? I played lots of sports. I enjoyed the odd McDonald's meal and drive-in movie with my family. I went to Disney World. I camped every summer, and I loved my dog. When I was 22, my nickname at work was Bubbles, a name given to me by a middle-aged man on my TV crew. I was working at Much Music, the once upon a time Canadian MTV, and from the outside, my life looked peachy keen. My childhood dream had been to get the fuck out of my small rural town and live in Toronto, where I could ride the subway to work after all. And I was doing it, surrounded by cool kids and celebs, no less. When I showed up to work, I was a joy because I was thrilled to be where I was, doing what I was doing, and so I was cheerful and bright and damn good at my job. Little did the world know that I was struggling with bulimia and alcohol addiction and had been battling my own self-hatred for years. But that's the thing about life and other people's perspectives. Even when things look great on the outside, they are often vastly different on the inside. And that's a lot of what we're going to be chatting about here on this page, on this platform, and in my 2 upcoming books. What it means to choose to make, change, and pivot even when no one else understands it. How it feels to ditch patterns, circumstances, relationships, and roles when things look perfect from the outside. How to follow your heart and integrity, especially when the pivot that you're choosing looks crazy or wrong to everyone else. So what's coming? Well, I have a course in the works, The Brand That Breathes, a 4-step process for reconnecting to who you're becoming. I have Breath and Becoming in the works. This is going to be a new version of my virtual breathwork program for women, by women. There's going to be tiered options for those who want to simply breathe alive with me every week, and the option to join the immersion program that will include monthly masterminds, coaching, and workshops. What else is coming? Well, my memoir under the working title Dark is the New Light, as well as my book, The Brand That Breathes, international retreats, events, and even more. So who is this platform for? Who is this podcast for? Who is my work for? Well, it's for the women who know there has to be more than simply checking boxes and performing their way through life. It's for the woman who has built a successful life on paper but feels disconnected from herself somewhere along the way. It's for the woman standing in this messy middle place, the void of a pivot, whether that's a career change, divorce, a sobriety journey, spiritual awakening, business reinvention, empty nest, grief, or simply the realization that the life that she built no longer fits. The space is for entrepreneurs, for creators, healers, leaders, and women who want to build meaningful work without selling their souls in the process. It's also for the woman who is tired of self-help perfectionism, who's exhausted by the personal development performance and is more interested in truth than appearances. And it's for those of us who are curious about spirituality, but are grounded in reality. Women who value their intuition and personal responsibility. It's for the women who want to trust themselves more than the latest guru, trend, or blueprint. Most of all, this space is for the women who are ready to stop becoming who they think they should be and start becoming who they already are. And this space is for you.